not want to, do not want to, do not want to. It's an obsession! What are you doing later tonight? Leave the back door open. Not want to. No! It's an obsession!
All right, Marquette.
Yes.
Marquette, where did you grow up? Where are you from originally?
I was born in Bristol, Tennessee, and I was raised in Minnesota. My family moved to Elk River, Minnesota when my dad got a job at Control Data. He was an industrial engineer. So we moved to Elk River, and I started leaving home and going to Minneapolis when I was in my early teens. You know, I did not come out as gay until I was over 18. I was always afraid that someone would find out I was gay and beat me up. I had a hard time because I was feminine and I was girly, and I have been the target of violence for my entire life. And I've been very fortunate that things haven't been worse. I mean, somebody punched me here in the bottom lip. My teeth came right through my lip right here. And there's bones in my face got broken. I was in a 20-year relationship in Minneapolis, Minnesota, to Mark Simonson. And he fancied himself Charles Manson. He looked kind of like him. I don't know, Mark had anger, a lot of anger. He killed the cat and put a hammer through the aquarium. I don't know, he's just trying to get my attention. I couldn't really figure out why he was always so crazy, but I lived in fear the last 18 years that we were together. You know, I never complained and I did whatever he said because I didn't want to get hurt. But now, I say something. If people are rude to me, they'll hear about it. I'm not able to just turn the other cheek and be all nice when somebody just cracked, oh God, that's the ugliest thing I've ever seen. You know, people will actually say that when they walk by me. That's the ugliest thing I've ever seen. Knowing that I can hear what they're saying, and what's the real ugliness is their behavior. They are so insensitive. They could say something so cruel that someone who's already down on their luck doesn't need another rock thrown in their face. So
It's hard for you on the street?
it was difficult, yeah, but I did make some money. One time in Miami, I was picked up by a gentleman who runs a call service. And he had like 5 prostitutes working for him. And he left the safe open, and I got a ticket to San Francisco. He called my mom trying to get the money back. My mom was laughing her head off. I actually gave him the number to my parents. It was all an act. I would often rip off tricks if it was easy to do, but I have given up that life completely, not because I got old, but just because I don't want to abuse my body the way I did before. You know, I have more respect for myself than I have in the past.
When did you leave home?
About 15, I started leaving home. Well, that's when I hitchhiked from January from Minneapolis to St. Petersburg in 49 hours. I went straight through, and I couldn't believe I actually did that. Today I think back, I hitchhiked across the country at 15. I'm like, I must have had some balls, something. I just wanted to get away so bad. I wanted a new life. I had a paper bag and a couple shirts with me, and that was it, $1.76. Kind of like when Madonna landed in New York and she only had $36, except I never made a record yet.
And you started supporting yourself how?
I was a prostitute when I was a runaway, and I made fairly good money. It was enough to survive. Yeah. When I got kicked out of high school, and the way it happened, I kind of am not happy about the way it ended. I had missed several days, okay, 10. I was in the principal's office, and he said, well, you'd be a great student if you'd just show up. And I missed another day, and the principal said, get out. And at the time, I didn't even really care that much about it. I just wanted to go home and fuck and do drugs. Mark taught me how to shoot up cocaine and gave me hepatitis B. I've had hepatitis B since I was 17. I take drugs to keep it in check. I am also HIV positive, and I became HIV positive when I was 17. So, and I'm 57 now. So I am a long-term survivor. I've never been hospitalized because of the HIV. I take my medicine religiously, and I've been so fortunate, you know. God has been looking out for me because I have done put myself in some really bad situations just because I wanted drugs. You know, I would go out in the night looking for crack, and it's real dark, and you don't know who you're going to meet up. But I was so desperate to get high that I would have done practically anything. Once you get started, it's so hard to stop. It's like I don't know, but I want everybody to know that I'm sober today, if you don't count marijuana. And it's the greatest thing that I'm off alcohol and all the hard drugs. And the reason that I'm doing this is because I love myself and I want to live. You know, I watch the soft white underbelly and I see all the different people and their situations and what happened to them. My conclusion, they could have prevented a lot of it if they only had loved themselves. I don't think they really were able to love themselves. So that's why they put themselves in those bad situations. It took me a very long time to appreciate who I am. You know?
How long have you been clean?
15 years.
Good for you.
Mm-hmm.
It's great to hear.
Yeah, it's great. It's a great life. And
what do you think were there things in your childhood that got you into drugs that or kept you using them?
Yeah, I was abused as a child. I may have mentioned that. My dad was never home, and my mom was very angry. She beat me with a switch, and then she did something weird. She pushed her breasts into my face when she was wearing a belly dancing outfit that she made. And she would push her breasts up in my face, and I felt so uncomfortable. It was like incestual. I don't know. That was weird. My mom was beat severely as a child. So you know how it goes from generation to generation. It's true. If somebody hits you once, they're going to keep hitting you, and you've got to leave immediately because they'll never stop. When Mark beat me, I can change him. Yeah, my love is going to cure him of his anger. Nothing could cure him of being the asshole that he was. No, it's not nice to speak ill of the dead, but since he almost killed me on several occasions, I think I'll take a pass. Once I was sitting at the picnic table, and he threw a 7-pound engine out the window, and it brushed off my face, right up like that. If he had gone 1 inch back, see, God was there. If that engine had fallen 1 inch back, I would be invalid or dead. So he didn't care if he killed me. That's what the message I got when he threw that engine. He didn't care what happened to me. Yeah, he would beat me over stupid things. Just, I don't know. He had a lot of anger for some reason. I met his family. Nobody could figure out why he was so mad, and I don't know. I stuck with him until his last dying day. I took care of Mark when he had AIDS. I pushed him around in his wheelchair, helped him get stuff, and did whatever I could. But he became so weak that he had to be put into a hospice. This was in San Francisco, April 12th, 2001. I was on a trolley to visit Mark, and he in the hospice. And all of a sudden, when I was on the trolley, this light came into the trolley. It was moving slow, and it was coming towards me, and it had all kinds of beautiful colors. It also had substance, but you could see inside of it, and it was just so incredibly beautiful. The most beautiful thing I ever saw. It stood in front of me for like 3 to 5 seconds, and then it went out the window. I had no idea what had happened. I thought, wow, what's going on? I was kind of in a daze. I got to the hospice where Mark was. Mark had died exactly when I saw his soul. Mark showed me his soul. If he hurt me, he taught me one thing. Life never ends. It changes. And that's very important to keep in mind. We are all responsible for our own behavior. It's easy to blame people for things, but when being sober, I can take, if I do something wrong, I apologize about it and try to make it right. But when I was on drugs, I wouldn't care if I insulted people or whatever I had to do to get what I needed. But, being sober has made me a much better person and much healthier. Because of the HIV, I had done some meth, and that meth, it eats up T cells. And I would get high on meth, have wild, sex, marathon sex, and then I'd be unable to move for a week because that stuff just wiped me out. Yeah, I will say that one time I did heroin. Some guy shot me, but he took almost all of it, so I didn't really feel anything. So I really technically have done heroin, but I have not really done it, actually. It's here and there. But what I'm saying is meth, to me, is like the worst drug in the world. I mean, what's it made from? Battery acid? I'm snorting battery acid to get high. That stuff has things in it. And people know what's in there, but they still want the high so bad.
Is this the best part of your life right now?
The best part of my life is performing, dancing. Sometimes they call me Spinnerette, because I spin and spin and spin. I love to dance and I love to sing. And every day, even though I'm not attractive, and some people say I'm the ugliest thing that they ever saw, on the outside, I might not look all that terrific, but no, I am smart, I'm sensitive, I'm caring, I'm loving. It saddens me that nobody at my hotel can get beyond my outer shell to see who I am. That's what I do every day, is I prove myself to people that I can sing and I can dance. I get people to look deeper than just my skin, and people can really see my soul when I sing. I'm very happy when I perform, and that's probably the only time I am happy.
So you're not living on the street now?
No, I'm not going to say the name. I'm in a COVID hotel. It's paid for by the state, I believe. So technically I'm not homeless, but I have lived in my car for 3 years. I pride myself in being happy no matter what. I'm going to be happy. If you say something bad about me, it's going out the other ear. I'm kind of training myself because I know I'm going to hear negative things about my appearance because supposedly I'm so incredibly hideous. And people say often, oh, that's the ugliest thing I've ever seen. Well, I say to them,
You're very attractive, actually.
I tell them, I guess you haven't seen much, then have you? So, I need to tell you about Love Bug. This is Love Bug. Right here, Love Bug. Lovebug is microchipped. He has all his shots. He's been with me for 7 years. I was singing on Hollywood Boulevard, and this woman came up, and she tried to take off Lovebug's mask. So I told her, get away from us. And she came back again. This time she got the mask off. He wears a mask because sometimes he bites skateboarders. So she came back with 2 guys and ripped Lovebug from my arms and ran. I was being held back by 2 20-year-olds. I'm 57. I got away. I ran 12 blocks. I had 911 on the phone. I called 911 when she removed the mask and then came back a half hour later and kidnapped Lovebug. And I ran after them. I jumped the fence on Hollywood Boulevard. They were going down the subway. I tried to grab them and they pushed me off. But the Hollywood police, who I want to thank with all my heart, they came with their sirens blaring. Hollywood and Highland, where are they? Where are they? They went down the subway. So we all ran down there, me and 5 cops. And 2 people were arrested. And I want them to know that they did a hideous thing. They thought that I was just some weak sissy who would let them take my dog. They could walk all over my life like that. Well, I don't see it quite that way. Lovebug is alive, breathing. It's not like losing a car or something, or having your jewelry stolen. Lovebug can't be replaced. And so even though they threw it out because I had bad legal counsel, I'm happy. It made us closer. Lovebug, I know what it would have been like without him now, So he is with me now. I would do anything for this dog. I turned into Super Cootie, fighting 20-year-olds, jumping fences, running from security guards. I didn't know that I was so strong that I had that much stamina. But when Lovebug's life was on the line, something in me, God came into me and made me, I turned into a Super Cootie for several minutes. Life really tests me sometimes. They say that God will never give you anything that you can't handle. But sometimes I don't know if that's true because so many bad things can happen to you. Being a homosexual, feminine, semi-transgender, I don't tuck and I don't stuff. The people who live at my hotel now, they hate me and want to kill me. So I have to be happy around people. Even though my husband is negative, that's why I left him. Even though he's negative, I'm going to stay positive about life. I am going to celebrate what is good in my life, even if it's hard to find. I was watching something and this queen was saying, even if you've got only 2 teeth left, celebrate those 2 teeth because, appreciate what you've got. If you got it, flaunt it.
What do you regret in your life?
I regret that I didn't leave Mark the first time he hit me because I think my life would have been completely different. My life would have been way different. He really held me down. I gave him the best years of my life, and I regret that because I could have been with somebody who really cared about me. I am so tired of people who pretend to care and then call me ugly as soon as they get a chance. If you love someone, you don't treat them like that. If you love is not just a 4-letter word, it's an emotion that you really can't control. And I loved Mark until the day he died. And that's one of the accomplishments. I outlived Mark by 20 years. He thought I'd be dead. And yeah, I do pride myself that I lived 20 years because I thought he was going to kill me. The only way I got out of the relationship was when he died because I was too weak at the time to separate. But I never The doctor had called and told his brother that Mark had a month to live twice. A month to live. He was going to die within a month. So nobody told me that. I thought he was just sick and he'd get better. And then he weighed 83 pounds when he died. He lost massive amounts of weight. It was so incredibly just sad what happened to him. But when he died, it was a relief to me. It was a weight off my shoulders. I didn't have to do anything for him anymore. I was free, finally free, and could make my own decisions. And the heartache was over. So.
What would you say is the most important lesson you've learned in your life?
You ask hard questions. These questions are difficult. Say that again, please.
What is the most important thing you've learned in your life?
Okay. The most important thing that I've learned in my life is to love, to give love. I know now that every good thing I do actually does come back to me. You know, I'll give somebody a little money, somebody will buy me something to eat. You know, seriously, everybody needs to treat everybody like they want to be treated. You know, we all deserve respect, even if we're ugly or fat or maimed. You know, we all deserve to be respected. And amazing things happen when people share love. Many amazing things in this world. You know, this world can be so cruel. I am a target of violence because I'm feminine and I have a big mouth. I've been told by Gaia, my mouth is going to get me killed. And it's come close. I go, one time, Mark threw a coffee cup from across the room. It landed right here. This one queen, I was staying at the Aranda in San Francisco. I was drunk. She came up, put her nails on my face and ripped this. I've had a lot of injuries and I'm still a beautiful person. See, that's the thing. People might say that's the ugliest thing I have ever seen. But anyone who would say that in my presence, knowing I could hear that, that's the ugliness, is your behavior when you disrespect people like that. I was taught manners. And manners to me means you don't say mean things about people knowing they can hear it. You know, it's torture. I'm told how ugly I am many, many times every day. But I know I'm much more than what I look like. I hope you're all not shallow. I'm not a shallow person anymore. I know I'm smart. I love to give love. I love people. And I love my life. Even though there's many problems, I still am so much better off without substances. Okay, I do smoke pot, but that's all. And I'm so glad to be off all those hard drugs.
All right. Thank you so much, Marquette. I appreciate you coming in and telling your story.
All right.
You did great.